So I've been asked to do a few prepping videos by a few people, so I'm not exactly going to do a prepping video because it must be pretty boring just to watch me penning down loads of rock. But what I thought I'd do is do something a bit different, because I'm a bugger for not taking photos of stuff before I've prepped it and after I've prepped it. So what I thought we'd do a series of videos which I'll release in one go about this large ectomorph ammonite that I managed to collect from Speeton clay, which is from episode 25. So when you watch it, so you'll see me collecting it out the cliff anyway. So it came fractured in several pieces, as you can see here. So the idea is we took this large lump back here, which is so heavy, it probably weighs, don't look at it, but it probably weighs 4 stone. It's a beast. So all these pieces, fragments here, will fit round there, and as far as I know, it should come all the way around to here. So, and then if we can see on that part there, that's the rest of the coil disappearing inside there. So hopefully it's all there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to mount it on, and we'll have to pen all this down here and get down to it, hopefully reduce some of the weight. But I'm hoping we took the full block because I'm hoping that the whole of the ammonite's in here, because it's going under there. So, and we did catch it all anyway, so we're just missing the very end, because this is piece, just bear with me, that piece fits in there like that. So as you can see, just the end part is missing, so that was actually just crumbled away in the cliff. So they tend to, when they finish, when I filmed them before and found them, they're just domed like that where the mouth border is. They don't seem to have any keel or anything on it, so we're actually only missing that little part of the ammonite there. So I hope all this makes sense anyway. So when we put all this together, so we're going to try and get all the way around there like that, and then this here, so hopefully that's all there and it uncoils like that into there. You can also see, let me just take this out of the way, so which we won't be able to prep out, but there's the remains of some of the spines there off the ammonite. I hope you can see that. There was some I tried to collect it, but just so brittle they just fall away, and I don't think we're going to be able to prep that out because this is full of cracks and still needs stabilising anyway. These as well will be the spines disappearing on the other side. So, but it's a beast and a half, so we thought what we'd do is we thought we'd have a go at it. That's probably where it disappears in there as well. So we're maybe missing a part there, because that looks like it's the ammonite there. So, but I've not done it before, so we're just going to have to crack on and just see what we can do. And I keep filming it as I go along, and hopefully, if the video sees the light of day, so we should have a huge ectomorph ammonite coiled on there. So fingers crossed, and we'll just see how we get on. Hi everyone, so this is sort of part 2 of the giant ammonite rebuild that was on about. So the only things I've done since the other night actually, is we took down quite a lot of this matrix. I don't know if you can remember it from before. So there were some hefty pieces on here, so we just took them down, and instead of using the air scrab or air tool, which is this one, obviously it's going to take you a hell of a long time to get that down, we resorted to a bit of the old hammer and chisel. So we took that down with hammer and chisel, and a small chisel as well. So we got to this point here, so we exposed the, I don't know what you want to call it, the tail or the end part of the ammonite there, which is, I think, just about up to there. That's as far as it goes, but we can see it coming round here, and it's the rest of it's going to coil round and fit back on there. So the next step now really is to just get the pen, and we're going to start just penning some of this off to tidy this up and clean some of all this matrix around there, maybe do a bit of sanding around here and at some of the back edge around there. So I could assemble it on its own without the nodule, or what's left of a nodule, but I think it looked quite good in the matrix, plus it'll stabilise it somewhat as well, and I do like to see ammonites in the matrix rather than just matrix free. It looks like though we've lost a piece here somewhere in transit, unless it's one of these pieces, so we've got some work to do. I've done some dry assembly of some of these parts here, so these will be fitted together and glued later on, and then we'll see about this piece there. So it could be one of these pieces may fit in here, but I'll have to just do a little bit of messing about. So I'm going to do that off camera, so we're not just going to stand here filming me scrabbing and messing around, because it must be really boring. So one interesting thing that I did find, which I thought was part of the large amount that we removed here with the hammer and chisel, I don't know if you can pick that up, there's a small Neohibalites ammonite, sorry, not an ammonite, a bad which is stuck in there, look. So we're probably going to just clean that out actually and take it out, because it's nice. It's quite small, so it's nice to have the small ones. So we're going to put that on there. The tool that I use quite often is just a Ken Menyon pen. So they're expensive, but you get what you pay for, and it'll last forever, I think. So just replace the tips on it. That tip you can see there, well, hopefully if you can see it. There you go, that's for slightly finer work. So this part what we're going to use on there, we're just going to swap the tip out of it, and we're going to use this chisel tip. So hopefully you can see that on there, with this chisel tip to take most of this off, and then we'll just see what's going to happen whether we grind this matrix down, or we'll leave it rough. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to start coming on as it builds together, and I'm hoping that the rest of the ammonites it will fit around, and it'll come round like this, and then it'll join back around there. So we're just going to keep going anyway, and when I turn the camera back on, probably tomorrow, you'll probably see some of this prepped out, and we'll just see how we go. But it is a beast of an ammonite, and I do like it. We'll just see how we get on, and hopefully it'll be worthwhile at the end of the day and look something like. Right then, so I hope you can see where we're going with this now. So we've exposed this part here, which is the end, which is thicker than I thought actually. I thought it was thinner than that. But there's no more here, and there's none in the rock that I took off here. It hadn't snapped off or anything like that, so it might just be missing fossilisation, which is a shame. But I think you can see this is the part we're going to grind out now, I think, and this is the bit we're going to leave in the rock. So the ammonite will come round here and then swoop round and drop into there. Now I don't know, I may round that off, or I may add some part to that. We'll just see, because I've got lots and lots of bits, and same as the mouth board, I may cut a piece and add it to there, but I don't know yet. I'll probably ask Chris and Mark what they think, see how far we get on with it, because we could keep it all original like this, or we could add to it slightly to make it more aesthetic, but I don't really know. I'm in two minds, so I just need to take a bit more off there actually. But it's looking okay, and so there might be a piece missing there as well, if you remember from that part there, that was fitted in there like so, like that actually, and that part fitted on there, something like that. Let's see, inside part, yeah. So we've got part of it missing here. Now whether we leave that as it is, or we build that up with filler, or we find another segment of ammonite if I can't find the piece and cut one to fit, I don't know yet. So again, it's a work in progress. It's probably the biggest thing I've prepped, but it's quite good. I'm sure it's going to look pretty impressive really. So it's looking good now. Definitely going to keep it in here because it looks cool. We'll take it around and we'll just see how we get on. Right then, so next part of the Speeton Beast video that we're going to be doing. So as you can see now, we've done the initial grind on this area, which I think looks alright to be fair, and I'm going to leave this area rough, so I think that's just a nice contrast. It's a shame that there wasn't more of this coming out of here, so I need to decide on a few things. But we've done some initial gluing as well, so as you can see, it's starting to come together now. We've got some right big lumps here, but we can see it moving around now. Unfortunately, some of the sections I've just glued this piece. That is the side that was into the matrix, so you can see the nice sutures and stuff on there. Unfortunately, the side which was exposed, there's lots missing, and it's still. I'm going to clean this matrix off here, but you can see as it comes round, there's quite a lot missing. It's damaged, so I just have to decide now whether to, that piece fits on there like this, if we can see that, yeah, and then this other piece fits on there, and then it comes round onto there. So it's still a really cool ammonite, but the only things I really need to decide now is, do I fill in these parts here once I've removed this matrix, and especially this piece, and make it all up, or do I leave it as is and then just put it on here? So I've not decided yet. I don't know what to do, but it's still, I don't want to keep it in the matrix because I think it adds something to it. I don't just really want to display it like that. I mean, I could reverse it like that and display it, but off the matrix. But I really think, and sorry, and take this piece out here and put that on the end and just display it off the matrix. But I don't know. I think I want to keep it in the matrix, so we'll have to decide. I'm going to speak to a couple of, well, Chris and Mark about it. But as you can see, it's a huge thing. So it's coming together. So I'm quite chuffed with it. So it's probably the most complete one I've got, even though it's damaged. But there's some corking pieces. I mean, that's a huge ammonite. So there we go. I'm rambling a bit now. I don't know what to say. So we'll just say bye bye and we'll crack on with it, and then we'll do another bit of filming later. Hi everyone, so welcome back to this big ammonite rebuild that I've been doing a video on. So hope we're progressing a bit, you can see. So as you can see, we've glued the sort of pieces together now. Not all of it's here because we've still got some in the large block here just to finish, so I've still got some pieces to do and some bits missing. So what we are going to do is we are going to mount it back in this block, as we keep talking about, after seeking a bit of advice from a few people. I'd like to do that as well, so it'll look really good. And we'll maybe try and build this out as well. Might have to try and get a piece of the same rock from Speeton, pin it, drill some holes in here and pin it and push it onto there. So I think if I tried to use filler, it just won't be any good, but we'll see anyway. So the next stage, I think, really is to continue working on this part. So we've glued it together now, so, and I want to build up and replace these parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe have a look for my bit pile, because I've got lots of other parts of these ammonites, as we can see. Just see what I can find in there, see if we can cut any of these pieces down, etc., to replace, especially on this area here where there's quite a lot missing. The smaller parts I can just fill and touch up. So, but we'll see how we get on. It's a bit of an unknown. I've not done it before, so it's a pretty big beast. So I'm quite chuffed with it. So I'm going to look for my bit box, as I just said, and we're going to start building this up. And we'll probably have to take it inside because it's getting a bit chilly in the workshop, and I don't have any heating in here, so it's just taking a bit of time to go off and stuff like that. So it's a beast and a half, that. So right then, so that's it for now. So hopefully next time we see it, we'll have made some progress with filling this parts in as well. And then the next step when we've done that is probably to mount it back on this block here. So it's just still a bit dusty, but we've just about finished the ground and everything on there. So alright, thanks for watching, and get ready for the next one. Right then, so the next step was we found some bits in the bit box, and we've cut these down to fit into here, into this gap, and we've took this surface down there. So we just need to glue these on now, because that was the worst section, if you can remember. So then when we put these on like this, they're not perfect, but they're aesthetic, and it'll look nice. It'll look better than just a big solid lump of clay. These parts here, then we can build that up then with filler. I might even have a go at cutting something else, but I've had enough for today. So we're just going to mount these on there, get them glued up, and then we'll do a bit more tomorrow. So I'm quite happy with that. It'll look pretty spot on, I reckon. When that's done, happy with that. Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is the next part of the build that we've been doing. If you remember, on the last segment we'd rebuilt this section up. I'd cut some pieces from other ammonites, like these ones here, and I'd cut them, which is these ones here, and I'd glued them in place. So, but there was a lot of gaps around the back and around the side. So what we've done is we've brought this inside now, because we used an air drying modelling clay, and it's a bit cold in the shed. I don't have any heating. Sorry. So what I've done is I've rebuilt the missing sections, as you can see. So it doesn't look too bad. And what I've used as well to help cover it up is I ground some other pieces of ammonite up like this to create a dust, and then that's been put on the top of the modelling clay. Also, these other parts are not from this ammonite, but I use them to texture the modelling clay, so we get the same texture off the ammonite, so you can use it as like a pattern to roll into that. Same as that part there with the sutures on it, you press that into the clay and then we'll give it a dusting of that. So hopefully when it's dry, a bit of that will come off obviously, but once it's all varnished and put together, just using some modelling varnish, it'll look pretty good. I'm quite chuffed with that, so let's just see how it goes, how it dries, and hopefully that's alright. And then we'll start mounting it on the rock and then we'll start joining these other pieces up. There's a couple of pieces here. I think there's one piece missing, so what I might have to do is cut something. Obviously this is too big, but cut a section off this and fit it in. So we'll just see how it goes really. So we've just got to see how this dries, but it's looking pretty good. I'm quite chuffed with that, and we'll just keep going and hopefully we'll have a corking ammonite when we're finished. So as you can see guys, we've done quite a bit now to this ammonite. We've repaired all this section, we've mounted it back now on the nodule so it's stuck in place. What I did have to do was I had to remove part of this rock here. Originally that fitted on there like that, but as you can see it's slightly running out high, so and we did have a piece missing here. That's the only piece of the ammonite that was really missing. Even the parts that was really damaged over here, there was still there, but there was absolutely shot. So I'm actually missing that piece, which is a shame. But what I've done is I've cut another piece of one, so we're just going to fit that in there, and then we'll just make this up and blend it in. And I've also got a small piece, if I could see it, which will just fit on there just to finish it off like that. So so that should look pretty good, I reckon. So best one I've found, well, best complete one I've found, and one of the largest. I have found slightly larger sections, but nowhere near as complete. So when we get that done and it all gets blended in and stuff, it should look okay. Now the only other thing I've got to think about doing is whether to rebuild this missing matrix out here, or at least go under there like that. So we might do that, but what I might have to do, there's a piece of it here. What I might have to do is next time I'm at Speeton is go and collect some of the rock, so we can have the same piece, and I'll cut a piece out and fit it under there. So, but I don't think we'll be doing that anytime soon. So we'll see how we get on anyway. That piece was off the top here, but we'll see. So it's a work in progress. Quite chuffed with it. I think it's going to look, still going to look pretty decent, I think. So so you can see the size of my hand. So it's quite a big ammonite. It's the biggest thing ammonite I've found. So there we go. So we'll keep going anyway. We'll get this glued up, then it'll have to dry for today, and then tomorrow we'll do a bit more filling, and we'll just keep working away at it, guys. So as you can see now, we've glued these pieces in place, so we just need to fill all this in and make it up, so which will be the next job tomorrow when it's dried out. Right then, so just a little bit more on the rebuild. So you saw last time we'd replaced some of these pieces here. There was one piece missing, so I had to make that up. So we've just filled them now with the modelling clay, and we've put some matrix on there now. So that's about all we can do. So once that's dried, we just need to wear a couple of coats of fossil varnish on here, and then another coat all the way around, maybe just blend some little bits in again, and then just tidy up the matrix, and then possibly just, if we can find the piece to fit under there, and then that's us done. So it's looking pretty good, a lot better than it was when we dug it out of the cliff. If you remember, just a big bag of bits. So there we go, I think it looks alright, it's getting there. Biggest thing I've ever built up, and biggest ammonite I've got, so I'm quite chuffed with that. Apologise if the lighting's a bit rubbish in here, but it's getting dark on a night and we're in the kitchen, so there we go. We've just got to do what we can do. It's too cold in the workshop for the clay to go off, so that's why we're in here. Hi everyone, so I've finally finished the heteromorph ammonite that I've been rebuilding from Speeton, as you can see. Quite chuffed with it. Not much else to say really. The only thing I might do is build this part up here because it looks a bit daft. But I don't have anything big enough to build that up. This is probably the biggest part that came off the block, but it's not really big enough. But I think it probably does need something on there. But what I'm going to do is next time I go to Speeton, I'll look for a piece of block and smash a piece out as big as that, and then I can cut it and fit it onto there. So, but really, that's the only thing I can do now. Quite happy with it. So it's first time I've ever done anything like that. Biggest thing I've ever prepped, I think, or found. So quite chuffed with that. Yeah, looks good. Pretty happy with that. It's a beast as well. I don't know how much it weighs. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed watching it.